Hello, welcome to day 3. Today's practice is going to be about pelvic mobility and stability for the most part. There's lots of movement that's going on in our belly region, lots of space being created, and with that there can be some discomfort that comes into the body. So we're going to try a little bit of movement here just to help stabilize and mobilize and support ourselves during our day. No props are necessarily needed for the practice. Of course, blocks are always a good idea, especially if you want to create a little bit more space within the body. So if you have some, be sure to have them nearby. And of course, props for the end for our Shavasana, making it nice and relaxing. So when you're ready, we're going to actually start in laying down. And laying down is okay for shorter periods of time. But of course, if you're feeling any sort of lightheadedness or discomfort, please feel free to come up to seated. We won't be down on our backs for very long, but when you're ready, we're going to begin in constructive rest. So as we lay on our back, we'll bend into our legs, letting our soles of the feet find the floor. So taking just a moment here to settle in, connect to the body, connect to the breath, maybe connect to babe. Feel any sort of movement with that shifting from seated to laying down. Good, so beginning to connect to that deeper breath here. Nice, smooth, slow, and steady. Inviting the whole length of our rib cage, so from the base of the spine to the top of the heart, nice deep full breath all the way up to the chest. And as we exhale, emptying out, letting go of tension and tightness. A couple more big full breaths here. Good, and continuing to breathe our full, deep, smooth breath, we'll start to invite a little bit of movement. So finding mobility and stability in the hips and pelvis area doesn't require large movements. So we're going to find our cat and cow here on our back body. So as we inhale, think about pressing the sitting bones down, sort of turning the pelvis back. As we lift the belly, lift the chest, we're going to overarch through the low back. And then as we exhale, belly draws in, baby guides towards the spine. We flatten through the low back, and then we turn our sitting bones up. Good. Again, as we inhale, we roll those sitting bones down, lifting the ribs, the belly, and the baby. And as we exhale, we roll the spine back down, curling the sitting bones up. Good. Keep it going the full length of the breath. So the full inhale to guide up into that cow, and then the full exhale to lower and release into the cat. Good. Keep it going nice and smooth. Moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Again, small movements. Doesn't have to even be as large as mine. And of course, depending on what feels good in your body. Avoiding pain. Good. Just a couple more here. Last one. Good. And then once you're complete, start to find that space in between. So not overarching and finding that bigger sort of lift through the low back, nor are we flattening and pressing. We're right in the middle. There should be a little bit of that natural curve. You might even be able to slide your hand underneath that small of the back area. Ideally, we're here. From here, again, we pull belly in towards the spine. So baby hugs in, We're supporting and wrapping our core, protecting the baby. And then from here, we want to find just a little bit of movement through this right hip. We're going to draw it up towards the shoulder, sort of lengthening through that left side, and then switching. That right hip's going to lower, left hip's going to draw up towards the armpit or the shoulder. Good. Right hip draws up as left lowers, and then left hip draws up, right lowers. Good. Again, finding that mobility here. We've got the flexion and extension through the cat and cow, and now we're doing a little side to side. And you might even sort of notice any asymmetries if you're holding tension on one side or the other, or just maybe a little bit out of balance here. Good. All right, just a couple more each side. Good. And the next time that left hip draws up towards the left armpit or shoulder, slowly come back to neutral. So that place in between, ideally equal distance from hips to armpits or shoulders. Good. Still have that neutral sort of curve to the low back, nice and neutral through our hips and pelvis. And then connecting to our breath and baby here. As we inhale, again, find the belly filling. You might even rest your hands. And as we exhale, again, think about pulling baby in towards the spine, wrapping it with love and support. Good. Inhale. Relax the body. This time, as we exhale, pull the baby in and then draw the pelvic floor up. So sort of that Kegel exercise. Inhale, relax the pelvis, relax the belly. And as we exhale, pull in and up. Good. So that little Kegel exercise that I'm referring to is as if you were sort of peeing and you wanted to stop. That pulling in through the pelvic floor stops that little stream, pulls the pelvic floor up. So as we exhale, we release the breath, pelvic floor draws in, belly hugs in, baby draws in, and as we exhale, we softly release and relax. Good, training the body to work when we want it to, and then let go when we don't want it to. Good, couple more. Good, and this is a felt experience. It's not something that you're going to be able to necessarily see on the outside. Good. Last big breath here. Inhale to relax. Exhale, baby draws in, pelvic floor draws up. Good. All right. Relax the body. Beautiful. From here, we're going to stabilize our hips and pelvis through our bridge movement, so that drawing of the hips up towards the sky. So be sure to set the body nice and comfortably here, back of the head on the floor, maybe even lift the upper back, draw those shoulders behind you, feel the collarbones broaden, arms rest alongside the body. Still working through neutral, so if you're feeling those rib cage flare or belly and baby lift, we want to pull in a little bit, natural curve. Hug the baby in towards the spine, feel the feet on the earth, feel the hands and forearms here for support. When you're ready, on your next inhale, press the feet, pull the baby in, start to elevate the hips, come all the way up to the top. And as we exhale, release the hips. Pull the diaphragm in as you lower the spine down. Good. Inhale, relax the pelvic floor, rise up through the hips. And as we exhale, lower the spine, pelvic floor draws up. Good, we'll do 3 more. Inhale, press the feet, push into the forearms and hands, lift the hips, relax the pelvic floor at the top. As we exhale, lower, draw the pelvic floor in, baby to the spine. Good, last 2. Good. Last one, so stabilizing through our hips, activating our glutes, our abdominals. Good, and as we exhale, lower back down. Beautiful. All right, give a little release, wiggle out those hips, maybe let your knees rock a little side to side. And then when you're ready, slowly take your time, start to find your way over to one side, maybe ideally onto your left. Let your top hand press into the floor. Good, and start to find your way up into tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees, if you want a little bit of extra support, you can place your blanket underneath your knees, a little bit of cushion. Good, so similar movements that we did on our back body, we're now going to do them here on our spine. So we've got a lot of sort of weight here with that extra body. So just be a little bit mindful as we inhale. Again, lift the sitting bones. Let the belly drop a little bit. Let the shoulders roll onto the back body. Let the gaze come forward. Lengthen through the abdominals. And as we exhale again, pull baby in towards the spine. Push into the hands. Round the back body. Tuck the chin. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Beautiful, and as we exhale, round again, baby draws in, press, lift the upper back, tuck the chin. Good, this movement is really nice for creating length through the low back, which is carrying that extra little bit of load. So we're just giving it lots of love, lengthening through the glutes. Good, let's do one more, each direction. Beautiful. Baby draws in towards the spine. And as we inhale, come on back to that space of neutral. Good. So just as we did on our back body, now we're going to find a little bit of movement through the pelvis and hips. So again, drawing that right hip towards the right shoulder, you're going to get long through the left side body. And then switching sides, start to draw the left hip towards the left shoulder or armpit. Good. Right hip towards that right shoulder. Back through neutral. Left hip, left shoulder. Good. One more each side. Good, and then again, coming back through neutral. Shake out the wrists at any time if you're feeling any tension through the wrists or palms. Good, again, find that neutral spine, so a little bit of engagement here. Again, that drawing in, pull baby towards the spine, help support that low back, especially with that extra little bit of weight here. Good, and then when you're ready, we're going to find a little bit of balance as we start to lean to the left, start to guide the right leg up and back. Good. Hold and stabilize here, so even out the weight in the hands. Be sure that this right hip is down so it's in line with the left. Good. If you're feeling strong and sturdy and stable here, keep that baby drawing in towards the spine. Maybe lean to the right and perhaps draw the left arm forward and up. Good. Inhale to extend. And as we exhale, lower down. This might be just the leg. If you have just the leg lifted, it might be the arm and the leg. Switching sides. Let's go ahead and lift that left leg first. Good. You can point the toes or flex the foot, whichever feels best. Again, stabilize weight in between the hands. Let those hips be nice and level, nice and even. Good. And then from here, maybe challenge yourself, maybe lean to the left and float the right arm forward. Good. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to lower. Good, we're gonna move with our breath here. So inhale, right leg back, maybe left arm joins. Exhale to lower. Switching sides, left leg back, maybe right arm joins. Good, exhale and lower. Good, don't feel rushed here. Go as fast or as slow as feels good in your body. And take your time. There's different weights that we're dealing with in our body here. Our center of gravity is a little bit shifted. Everything's moving. So again, experience this like it's the first time you've ever done the movements before. Good. Let's do one more each side. And we'll complete with that left leg. So I'm gonna have to do one more. Good. Last one, if you're not there already. Good. Beautiful. Shake out those wrists, give a little release. And when you're ready, we're gonna come towards our downward facing dog. So of course, if you're in your first trimester and you're feeling a little bit more nauseated, just go ahead and stay in table. If it feels okay for your body, curl all 10 toes under. Again, hug baby in towards the spine, shoulders on the back, a little bit of softness in the elbows. Begin to lift the knees. Keep the legs bent. Create a little bit more space for the back body. So let the hips draw up and back, and maybe widen the feet a little bit if needed. Let the chest draw towards the floor. Let the hands press into the mat. Let the hips lift. And if it feels okay, maybe pedal out the leg. So bending into my right knee, I'm going to lengthen my left heel. And then switching sides, bending into my left leg, lengthening my right heel. Gonna do this a couple of times. Each side, stretching out those calves. They tend to get tight here. Good. And then once you're complete, come both heels heavy towards the floor, hips lifted, knees bent if you need them. And then when you're ready, start to walk the feet towards the hands. Good, we're gonna come towards our forward fold. So again, feet are a little bit wide. Don't worry about being hip width apart or feet together. Create the space for this new body. Good, and then from here, let your upper torso hang heavy. Let the chin tuck, let the back of the neck be long. Good. The toes are facing forward. The knees are in line with the toes. From here, keep that bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, start to slowly press into the feet. Start to let the hands dangle. Good. You might even walk the hands onto the thighs to help support yourself as you slowly guide and press your way all the way up into standing. Good. From here, let's go ahead and raise our arms up towards the sky. Good. Hands might come together, or if it feels better in your body, let the arms be shoulder width apart. Good. Let that blood settle. Good. And then from here, start to slowly open the palms wide to the side and let the hands lower down. Good. We're going to come into a chair pose here. So again, my feet are a little bit wide, making a little bit more comfort for my body here. Feet nice and even weight, not leaning one side or the other. Again, that neutral pelvis that we were working with on our back body, and then again in table. So nice and neutral. From here, start to bend into the knees. Let the bum start to lower. Let the bum come back. Your torso might hinge a little bit forward. It might feel best to rest your hands on your thighs and knees, especially if you're more towards your third trimester. If it feels okay and you don't need your hands resting on your thighs, let's find our hands in prayer. So palms come together, Weight heavy through the bum, maybe a deeper bend in the thighs if that feels okay. Shoulders away from the ears, and maybe even lowering my hands so my forearms are about parallel to the floor or working towards it. Good. Big breath in. Full breath out. Good. Can you connect to that pelvic traction? So inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Exhale, baby draws in towards the spine, pelvic floor lifts. One more. Relax the pelvic floor, and then exhale, pull up, belly towards the spine, baby drawing in. Good. Once you're complete, hands can stay in prayer. If you're feeling strong and stable, hands can find thighs. Press into the feet. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Slowly guide your way back up into standing. Good. Let that blood settle. Let that breath release. Good. There's no big rush to move into the next sort of movement. Good. One more big breath here. Good. From here, inhale your arms out to the side, up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to forward fold. So bend the knees, hinge at the hips, let the heart draw forward, come all the way over. Good. Let your head dangle. Create space for the belly. Let your thighs and knees be wide. Inhale, maybe draw halfway, so extend through the crown, lengthen, lift, keep that baby drawing in towards the spine, and then exhale and fold. Good, one more. Inhale, lengthen, maybe feel the backs of the legs as you press into the feet, and then exhale and fold. Good. From here, bend into the knees. Start to plant the hands. Good. Maybe lean to one side as you start to slowly step and walk your feet back. And then bend into the knees and lower to table. Good. Finding our calf stretch here. Lean slightly to the left. Extend that right leg straight back like we did earlier, and then lower the toes, push into the hands, and reach back through that right heel. Try and continue to find the length in the body, so shoulders on the back, extend through the crown of the head. Breathe into the back of this calf muscle. Good, one more big breath here. And as we inhale, roll on the toes, let that weight shift forward, bend into the right knee and lower it to meet the left. Switching sides, lean to the right, extend left leg straight back, toes down, let them touch down on the mat, curl under, push into the hand, and reach through that left heel. Good, again, find that length in the body. Breathing our full breath, hugging baby towards the spine, each exhale. Good, one more big breath. Rolling forward on the toes, weight draws forward, left knee can guide up to meet the right, and we're going to come towards a seated position. So feet might come out to one side, walk yourself back as you let your sits bones release, and then legs can come forward. Good. We're going to come into a chest opener, so a nice front body opener. Full expression will be reverse table, so I'll demonstrate that first. If that does not work, especially if you're closer towards that third trimester, it might be a little bit more challenging. We'll find a different variation. But hands will come behind you. Fingers can turn out or behind you, whatever feels best. Feet nice and solid on the earth. Roll the shoulders as you lift the chest. Press into the hands. Extend through the crown. This might be where you stay. This might be enough of a heart opener for yourself. If you'd like to challenge yourself, press into the feet. Start to lift the bum. Maybe it's just a hover, maybe it's an inch or two. If it's okay for the body, start to lift the hips, just like we did in our bridge pose. Roll the shoulders, gaze up towards the sky. Take 2 breaths here. Good. As we inhale, press, lengthen, lift those hips maybe a little bit higher. And as we exhale, start to hinge, let the bum start to lower, start to find the earth below. Good. If you need a modification, a variation of that reverse table, maybe just simply pressing the hands, lifting the chest, extend through the arms. Take a couple breaths here. Good. And then when you're complete, let your legs lengthen long. Take your time. Begin to slowly lower onto one elbow and forearm. Second can follow as you lower back down onto your back body. From here, walk your feet onto the earth and then drawing the knees wide, let them pull in a little bit towards the chest or belly, a bit more towards armpits, having them be wide. If it feels okay, maybe rock a little back massage. And then when you're ready, we're going to come towards our Shavasana. So again, depending on where you are, if you're in your first trimester, it might feel okay to be on your back body. If you're in your second trimester, let's go ahead, build a little stage for us. So I like to place my blocks, one on the highest setting, horizontal, second one on a lower setting, vertical. Placing the bolster on the blocks, creating a little bit of a 45-degree angle here, maybe even supporting, reaching back for the bolster. Align the spine and rest back. If this feels okay, you can still breathe your full breath. You're able to relax. You can stay. You can adjust the body. Maybe legs are long, maybe palms turn up. Sometimes it feels nice to let the hands interlace above the head. So lots of variations here. If you're in your third trimester, let's go ahead and lay onto our left side. So using my bolster like a pillow, I'm going to place it towards the top of the mat. Blanket is going to support underneath the belly, block in between my thighs and knees. So coming down onto the left side, my left arm is in that space below my bolster, above my blanket. Belly can rest onto the blankie if you're in that third trimester. And hips supported here in neutral. And as you settle into your placement of your body for your Shavasana, we're just finding that place of deep relaxation. So if there's any sort of control of the breath or lifting of the pelvic floor, just let it release, let it relax. Come back to those deep, full, smooth breaths, just like we did at the very beginning of class. Feel free to stay as long as your body requests. But when you're ready, mindfully taking your time, begin to slowly find a little bit of movement, maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Sometimes it feels good to reach that top arm up overhead, maybe even extending the top leg Get a little bit longer through that right side. Draw the arms and legs back in, and then pressing that top right hand, begin to slowly lift the torso. Come on back up into a comfortable seat, so maybe a block underneath the sitting bones. Create a little bit more lift, a little bit more opening through thighs and knees. Find that spine nice and long, and go ahead and let your hands rest on your belly. Breathing. Feeling the body nice and relaxed, shoulders dropping, space between the teeth. I thank you for taking this time to connect to your body, your baby, and your breath. Please join me again soon. Namaste. Take good care.